California in 1964. The Dorland couple intensively studies the crystal skull. One evening, Frank Dorland, an art restorer of antiques, sat by the fireplace, and next to him on the coffee table was a crystal skull. Staring at the skull, he noticed that the skull's eyes faithfully reflected the fire from the fireplace. A chance observation led to the discovery of a mysterious and unique optical system embedded in the skull. Looking at the upper oral cavity of the skull with a microscope, Dorland found a wide, transparent body that was similar to a prism that refracts light at an angle of 45 degrees. This prism-like surface directed a beam of light under the skull into her eye sockets. By careful observation, he discovered another thin surface that can serve as a magnifying glass. With a length of more than 15 centimeters or 5.90 inches, the polished channel stretches without any obstacles or inclusions, so that the text enlarged by the skull with this so-called apparatus can be read. So the crystal skull has a masterfully crafted lens that collects light by reflecting it through the eye sockets like a state-of-the-art camera. Dorland was also fascinated by the zygomatic arches carved next to the cheekbones that correspond to a real human skull. The jawbone is separated from the rest of the skull and fits perfectly into two sockets on the skull. In addition to being able to move up and down like a real skeleton, it can also be taken off. This work would be the envy of even the best masters of sculpture throughout human history. While studying the crystal skull for 6 years, the couple noticed something else. The skull was glowing with a halo that resembled a ring around the moon. The halo was about 45 centimeters or 17.70 inches in diameter. In 1970, the crystal skull was examined by top experts in California. Research in the laboratory confirmed the Dorland couple's research that the skull has an incredible apparatus for refracting light that even has a hypnotic effect. Scientists were stunned by the study, agreeing that even the most modern crystal processing technology could not replicate such a crystal skull. What is important to emphasize is that its presence also had a mental effect on the Dorlands. During the years of skull research, this married couple did not smoke or drink alcohol or coffee, and they also became vegetarians. Other people who came into contact with this piece of crystal were not immune either. Some were seized with sudden drowsiness, and some had a sudden problem of heart arrhythmia, while in some cases this skull stimulated the sense of smell. And there were also cases when people heard a light chorus of voices or a light ringing. To make everything even more mysterious, we will find out where this skull came from. The crystal skull is known as the Mitchell-Hedges skull because it was found by Anna, the adopted daughter of the American archaeologist F.A. Mitchell-Hedges. During an archaeological dig in British Honduras in 1924, the skull was discovered quite by accident. The skull is made of quartz crystal, cut so perfectly that it resembles a life-size human skull. Otherwise, the age of the quartz crystal cannot be determined by dating using a radioactive isotope of carbon, so the age of the skull cannot be determined with precision. The assumption is that its age is an incredible 12,000 years, although some push that limit to an even more incredible several million. The answer to this question could only be obtained by breaking the skull in order to determine the age of the water content in it, although even then, we would only get the geological period in which the crystal was formed, but not when the skull was made. Due to its priceless value, this method was not applied. The question arises as to why someone would process quartz crystal, which is an extremely hard material for processing, and for what purpose? It is estimated that to make a skull like this, it would take at least 300 years of painstaking processing, where sand and water would be used to polish every part of the rock, and then it would be ground with incredible precision. When Anna met the Dorland couple in New York and gave them the skull for examination, she had no idea what secrets were hidden in this skull. A logical question arises when today's technology cannot adequately replicate a skull like this. How could ancient peoples with primitive tools make one? Some conspiracy theorists claim that the skull belonged to the mythological civilization of Atlantis, which had technology more perfect than we have today. The claims also extend to the purpose of the skull, which is thought to be some sort of telepathic machine, and to contain information about the origin of the human race. In the Hollywood blockbuster Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the story takes us to alien technology that was long forgotten, and ancient peoples who revered aliens as their gods. What is intriguing is that similar skulls have started to appear around the world that may not have the same features but resemble Mitchell-Hedges. This is proof that the crystal skull has become a part of mainstream culture, and that, although there may be ancient skulls among these specimens, it is certain that, under the influence of this story, a lot of fake skulls were created. What this crystal skull really hides is, for now, only questions for the general public. The secret is currently kept in a bank vault in California that holds a priceless crystal skull.